What's up, everybody? Welcome into our preseason college basketball special. We're going to make this one quick. We're just going to go through our predictions for Naismith, a surprise team of the year, bust team of the year, and some tournament predictions. So, Brandon, I'll hand over to you. What's your Naismith prediction?
Yeah, so my Naismith Player of the Year prediction has been a guy who I think he's the favorite. I think it's for good reason. He had a great year last year, Drew Timme. A lot of people are saying that without Jalen Suggs and with them bringing in Chet Holmgren, it could throw him off a little bit just with another dominant big. But I think him and Chet actually mesh together super nice, and I think Timme has another great year.
I think he's the favorite for good reason. He would be my favorite too. But I'm going to go with the surprise dark horse. After watching their game last night, I'm less confident. Colin Gillespie, Villanova's point guard. Last year, he didn't even lead the team in scoring. He was averaged 14 a game. He got hurt at the end of the year. But he's coming back. I think he's going to be their floor general. And I honestly don't think he's going to win the Naismith. I really do think it's going to be Timme or Holmgren. But I do think he leads them to one seed, not to give away, or to a good regular season, not to give away my future predictions. How about surprise team?
My surprise team has to be Oregon. I know that they lost a great player.
Yeah, I don't think so. They lost Chris Duarte.
But they did get 3 star transfers. Quincy Guerrero from Syracuse, Devion Harmon from Oklahoma, and Jacob Young from Rutgers.
Devion Harmon was good last year, by the way, so I can see that. Mm-hmm. Memphis is ranked 1 spot above Oregon. I bet you they'll finish above them end of season. They are in a pretty easy conference. They have Amoni Bates, top recruit. I don't know who's going to be better, Amoni Bates or Chet Holmgren, but I do think Memphis is going to surprise huge Penny Hardaway guy, their head coach.
Yep. My personal bust team has to be Houston. I know that towards the end of last year they really brought it all together and surprised a lot of people. I don't think they have the same success this year, though. I think that comes from a couple things, mainly that they lost one of their best players.
Yeah, for me it's got to be Baylor, the defending champs. They're still rooted in good coaching. They are bringing back Matt Mayer, but that's about it. They lost Jared Butler, who's arguably their best player. Davion Mitchell was a top 10 draft pick. They lost him. And Maceo Teague, their other guard. Their whole team was those 3 guards. They also lost Mark Vital. I don't see them having a great year coming off the title. Mm-hmm. So now let's move into tournament. So we're going to say our 1 seeds in our Final Four, which is kind of weird to do preseason to predict the tournament. But I don't have any of my 1 seeds getting to the Final Four. So my 1 seeds are going to be Gonzaga, because they have a pretty easy regular season usually. I think they went undefeated last year, came very close. Texas, Chris Beard is my favorite coach of college basketball. I think he was great at Texas Tech. I think he's going to usher in a new era at Texas basketball, even though they've been good. Purdue, I think, is just going to be the best Big Ten team, and I think you've got to put them in, given how stacked the Big Ten is with Michigan, Illinois, and Purdue. Travion Williams didn't play great last game. I think he's going to be the best center in the Big Ten. Actually, maybe not, but because Kofi Coburn's there. And my last one's got to be Arkansas. They did lose Moses Moody, but Woo Pig for life. I do think Arkansas will find a way to get that 1 seed. They're a tenacious team.
Mm-hmm. My 1 seed, I start the same one, Gonzaga. They're really good last year. They're a great regular season team. They're good all throughout the tournament last year. I have full confidence in them. One other team, Michigan, I have a lot of trust in Juwan Howard. I think they still have a very talented team. And I don't want to say have fallen under the radar, but I feel like their expectations gone down.
I disagree. I don't know. They still, I think, are probably the Big Ten favorite. They have Hunter Dickinson. They're second in line for title favorites. I disagree with that. And for me, it came down to I was going to pick a Big Ten team in there. I had to go with Purdue over Michigan, though.
Yeah, Purdue's a really good team. My next one, UCLA. They kept their best guys. I think they, of any team, stayed as close to what they were last year of all the teams in college basketball that were succeeding at the level they were. And my other 1 seed, Oregon, I just have a lot of faith in them this year.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to get to the 1 seed. My Final Four doesn't have any of my 1 seeds. I'm going with Syracuse, Buddy Buckets, Buddy Boeheim, always performs tournament. Feels like he's been there forever. UCLA is a tourney team. I have them in the Final Four. They have Johnny Juzang, Tiger Campbell's a great guard, and they have Jaime Jaquez still. Those are the 3 best players. I think that's, if there's a big 3 in college basketball, that's it. Illinois, I think Kofi Coburn is great. I think they're going to find a way to battle in, because the Big Ten is battle test every year. And Duke is going to be my 4th team. I think they win it for Coach K. And I'm actually getting my champion right now. I'm going to have Duke over UCLA. I think UCLA is built the best. I think Duke has to win it in Coach K's last year.
Fair. My Final Four, I have Texas, you said earlier. I think they're an all-around great team. They kept Andrew Jones, who's a great defender. He was their lead guy last year, other than maybe Jericho Sims. I have Duke also making the Final Four. I think it's a great send-off for Coach K. However, I don't have them making it to the title game. UCLA, like I said earlier, they're just the best-kept team. They stayed as good as they are. I really like what I saw from them last year, and I think it's going to translate this year. My other team, Kansas, I think that they're super talented, and they're going to really turn it on towards the end of the year. My championship has to be Texas over Kansas, with Texas winning it all.
It hurts me now I've talked about Kansas because I think they're just as talented as UCLA, but I didn't want to put them in as that 1 seed in the tough Big 12, and I honestly don't know if they're going to make it there. They have Abaji. Remy Martin, probably one of the best transfers of this year. David McCormick's their stud center. Mitch Lightfoot's been there 6 years, so they're great. And lastly, Cinderella, I have Milwaukee. Pat Baldwin's going to become a star. We saw John Morant do that with Murray State. I think that's going to be this year. Pat Baldwin, Milwaukee.
My Cinderella, if they make the tournament, I think they could do some damage, is Western Kentucky. They got Zion Harmon, who is a great player in his class. I think he was top 40 in his class. I think that he's one of the best guards in the country. I think he could really shock some
Look
people.
out for Hofstra, though. They competed with Houston last night. Lastly, before we go, we're going to bring in our resident college basketball analyst, Luke Parr, to come and just give some quick championship predictions and a team he loves this year.
Hello. So just to talk about some of your guys' previous takes on this episode, really Drew Timme for Player of the Year.
I think that's a fair take.
I mean, I don't know. Like he don't get me wrong. Like I love the stash and like dude was sick last year, but I just don't think he's gonna come the same with Holmgren in there. Mm-hmm. And I think that just like a lot of the love for him too will get shaded. And then
I also think Corey Kispert did a lot for him, and
I agree with that.
Holmgren brings the same
stretching
energy.
The floor.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, because I mean he can like he's got some of the best post moves I've ever seen, and like I like if he was putting up more points last year, I think he would have definitely deserved it, but. This year, I just don't think it's going to be the same with Holmgren in the paint too.
And who do you think is going to win the national title?
I mean, I've got to go with my Jayhawks, right? They've got 4 players who I think can score 15 points on any given night. I think Agbaji is going to be the best player in college basketball. I mean, if you saw last night's performance, you really saw that. He can shoot, he can drive, he makes his free throws, he plays great defense. Like, there's nothing stopping him. And, like, Remy Martin, I mean... Dude's a stud. Like, no points the first quarter, comes in the second quarter, scores 15 like it was nothing. He barely even noticed. In McCormick, he definitely has some work to do because, I mean, if you watch, like, if you've watched him play the past couple of years, like, his post hooks are, like, unguardable. But, I mean, he can't make them.
Yeah, and don't forget about Yesufu, the Drake transfer. He carried Drake into attorney berth last year, and he's barely playing for Kansas. That just shows the depth.
Yeah, no, the team is super deep this year. They've got Zach Clements, who I believe was number 35 in the ESPN 100 last year. He's a 6'10 kid. He could shoot the lights out. I really like his potential, and, like, yeah, he could definitely be there for a while. And then Dejuan Harris, of course, I mean, he's just a stud. He kind of reminds me of Frank Mason or Devontae Graham. Like, he plays hard. He definitely needs to get a little more disciplined on when to drive and when not to, just with his skinny 6'1" frame. And, like, he's a good floor general. He can move the ball. He can play good defense. But he definitely needs to improve his shooting to solidify a spot in the starting lineup. He did start last night, but with Jalen Wilson out, I mean... That was his spot.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd still take Texas over them to win the Big 12. So we'll see what goes down there. Thanks for coming in, Luke. And thank you guys all for watching. Check out our regular episode, our fantasy episode this week. And just stay tuned and watch college basketball this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.